Well, Rias, what do you make of the situation in Southfield?
You mean the Empire's capture of Daglin Trading Port?
Yes. I heard that Duke Hende's army acted oddly, waving a white flag rather than resisting. This despite the Empire only having 30 ships, far fewer than they brought to Tagaria. The Duke made great efforts to take control of Southfield. Why wouldn't his forces put up a fight?
The succession conflict has been diverting the Council's attention. They weren't prepared.
So you don't find the capitulation the least bit odd?
Not really.
Andreas, I need to tell you something.
What is it?
You remember those kids we helped in the Ballydim Wilds? I got a letter from them. They were taken in by an orphanage. It seems they're safe and well.
I see.
You aren't happy.
Are you? You didn't seem to care very much about them during the mission.
It was only afterward that we heard the rumors about the church. It is hard not to fear the worst for the children we put in its care.
That's not all there is to this. Am I right?
Don't tell anyone, but I was born in the Ballydim Wilds myself. I could have been one of those kids.
I see. Your prowess as a magicka makes sense now.
Yes. Those born near the frontier do tend to have a knack for magic.
Does Catherine know?
Of course. Catherine was the one who told me about your rescue mission. I volunteered immediately.
Why did you keep your background a secret?
It's simple, really. So many kids from my area have abilities, and they tend to be hated for it. I felt that telling people about my past would make things harder for me as a young mercenary.
I see.
Anyway, I'm glad those kids we helped are doing okay. That's all.
There but for the grace of God, eh?
Oh, what to do?
What troubles you, Catherine?
I gave sweetmeats to the children of the Hodlam slums, and now they want me to come every day.
You must stop it immediately. They'll never become self-sufficient if they start expecting handouts.
Not everyone is as strong as you think, Andreas. They are children and they need my help. Charity was an important part of my work at the church.
If only the church had been so benevolent when it decided to have you purged. Do as you like, but take responsibility for your deeds. God is not to blame for one's lot in life.
I shall keep that in mind. It seems your kindly nature is revealing itself, Andreas.
You're imagining things. Look, Iska, I'll get straight to the point.
All right.
Are you and Tremina lovers? There's a rumor going around Elm Camp.
Why? Are two blue foxes prohibited from falling in love?
Not at all. You may do as you wish. Fred insisted that I ask, that's all.
I see. I suppose he doesn't look kindly on Tremina, given her democratic activism. He could have asked me himself, though.
I said the same, but he would have none of it.
Well, it is true that we have developed a good relationship of late.
That is an interesting way of putting it.
We aren't married or anything, but I can't say what the future holds.
It could be a fitting match. She is the daughter of a prominent Southfield merchant. And you? Well, you are of noble stock.
You're suggesting I return to the family fold. Such things don't concern me.
Then what does?
Why the sudden interest in our relationship, Rias? This isn't like you.
Oh, I have no particular interest. I'm merely making idle talk.
Really? Anyway.
I was just thinking that Tremina could be a way to secure your commitment to us.
Father!
Izzy, and Rias as well. You've both changed so much.
Do you really think so?
You, on the other hand, have not changed at all, Zorowak, even with your injury. Why, you look ready to do battle once more. With a little help, of course.
Help, huh? You mean to use a modern magic device to have me ride a wyvern, do you? Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try. I have grown weary of the hermit lifestyle. I should be glad to fight alongside you.
I'm not sure about this, Father. I know you wouldn't need to use your legs, but...
Have you forgotten my strength, child? I would hold my own against you even now, despite how much you have grown.
Ah, so stubborn. Doesn't matter what I say, does it?
Now all I need is an opportunity to test out this contraption.
We're going to deal with the demi-human horde in Eastfield as it happens. What say you join us?
Sounds perfect. So this is how it feels to straddle a wyvern, is it? I could get used to this.
All right, let's go.
Father, are you okay?
Izzy, please. You saw me fight, did you not? Did I display any weakness? Even for a moment?
Well, no.
You seem to be a natural at wyvern riding, Zorowak. Not that it was ever in doubt.
I watched your unit fight as well. It seems I have finally found myself a worthy cause. Therefore, from this moment on, I shall lend you my strength as a member of the Blue Foxes.
Thank you, Zorowak. Welcome to the unit. Lorraine, there is something I must discuss with you.
What is it, Andreas?
I have always thought Duke Hende admirable for not getting involved in the Council's infighting. But what if he is planning to seize control once the two dominant powers have worn each other down?
Excuse me?
Such an approach is not unheard of, and the way things unfolded in Dagland is odd indeed.
What does the Empire's capture of a Southfield port have to do with factional disputes?
Each faction has backed an heir to accede to the throne. But Duke Hende made no such move. Perhaps you can see what I am implying.
You mean to suggest that Duke Hende has the Empire behind him?
It would explain why Southfield was handed over with barely any resistance.
But what proof do you...
The signs have been there the whole time. First, the jade taken from the thief Hadi Solbay was never handed in to the royal government. Then the Duke insists that we seek out more jade, while undermining negotiations with the Alliance. The Empire wants DioField's jade, and a weak alliance would help them get it. It fits. It also likely means that we are in danger. What do you intend to do, Lorraine? Do not speak of this to anyone yet. Now is not the time for unnecessary risks.
Lorraine, what's the matter?
Lorraine is unwell. I shall brief us in her place. My scout has sighted a group of Imperial troops heading north. although they do not appear to be an invading force.
Nevertheless, the Lord's Council have given us permission to engage and prevent any further advance, if they reach Central Field.
If we deploy to Barngor Marshes immediately, we should be able to intercept their front line.
You seem unusually well prepared, Rias. This feels strange. What are you up to?
Yes, what's this all of a sudden?
Indeed. I see what Walter Quinn is getting at. Rias, just what exactly is going on?
Let's talk about this after the battle. Matters that are unclear now will resolve once we engage the enemy.
Very well.
Fine. We'll talk about this later. For now, let's make haste for Barngor Marshes.
The Imperial Army are here, just as Andreas said.
You must have some talent in your unit. Imperial intelligence is not easy to get hold of.
Let's save the chit-chat for later, Shivat. The Imperials have Wyvern riders in their ranks. Only a few, but we must remain vigilant.
Yes, all right.
More enemies incoming.
They are spreading out. We must maneuver to avoid being attacked from both sides.
You're unusually enthusiastic today, Rias. You'll explain why later on, I suppose.
Assuming we emerge victorious here.
Very well. Then we'd better get this over with quickly.
The enemy has been driven out. They put up less of a fight than I expected. We may even be able to take back Dagland if we pursue them now.
No. For now, we return to Central Field.
Oh, why? I was just getting started.
If we continue to press on in our current state, we'll be wiped out.
Why would you say that?
Because we would find ourselves surrounded. The Empire on one side, Duke's army on the other.
The Duke's forces? What are you talking about?
Look at this letter. That is the Duke's seal, is it not? The Duke has been holding secret meetings with the Empire. I found this letter hidden on one of his soldiers.
Damn them! Traitorous scum!
So then, what shall we do now?
Is it not obvious? We must bring the traitor to justice.
I suppose it is the only way for us to survive.
Are you with us, Quinn?
Oh, yes. I have no reason to refuse.
The Blue Foxes deployed to Barngor Marshes and routed a detachment of Imperial troops. Andreas insisted on the deployment, convinced that Duke Hende had secret ties to the Empire. He soon discovers their covert meeting place and finds a letter bearing the Duke's seal. Frederick is enraged at Duke Hende's betrayal and calls for his head, a sentiment Andreas shares. A troubled expression creeps over Iskarion's face as he becomes momentarily lost in his thoughts. While Walter Quinn seems eerily uninterested, unnervingly quiet, and wholly unaffected. Following a brief discussion, however, the Blue Foxes agree that the Duke is to be executed.
Umarida, I need to speak with you about the last mission.
Yes?
You did what was asked of you, including dealing with the Vanguard, but there was a complaint. To quote the other commander, "Your scout barely speaks. I cannot tell what she's thinking. I struggle to know if she understands what I'm saying. I need better communication."
Oh, I'm sorry.
I did not come here to have you apologize. After all, I myself have a similar disposition.
No, you're different. You can communicate with just about anyone. That's why all the Blue Foxes look up to you, and why you were selected as a leader.
That's enough about me.
So, what is to be my punishment?
I told you, no apologies and no punishments. I'll just find you a different role, that's all.
I am sorry,
Stop that. I will find a suitable role for you, and you will give it your all right?
Right.
Andreas, I have a favor to ask.
What is it?
There's a military unit that serves a Southfield nobleman that I would like to have eliminated.
Why?
They were an enemy of my former knightly order, and it seems they carry that enmity to this day.
Your former order being King Rhaegal's knights?
Correct. Indeed, these mercenaries once attempted to assassinate the king. I had hunted them fruitlessly for years. It turns out they've been operating incognito.
Then you need merely tell the noble who they really are.
Alas, rumors suggest that he too harbors the same hatred of the royal government.
You wish to have him eliminated as well?
No. He's a cunning one. He'll disown his mercenaries as soon as they are defeated.
And if he pleads ignorance, we will have no grounds to execute him.
Indeed. I therefore wish to eliminate only the mercenaries.
I understand. They are aware of our approach. Good.
I'm curious, Andreas. Why did you agree to help me? This fight yields no benefit to the Foxes whatsoever.
You seldom make your own desires known. I assumed it must be important. But let us talk later. The enemy are coming.
Yes. Take this! How does it feel?
We have destroyed the mercenaries. Alas, we have no choice but to leave their patron be.
That is of no consequence. He is powerless without his attack dogs.
Then let us return.
Andreas, I wanted to ask about the other day.
The rout of those mercenaries?
Yes. As you know, they were an organization I fought against as a knight. They killed several of my friends.
And you wanted to settle the score, is that it?
Yes. Forgive me. I ought not to have dragged the Blue Foxes into my personal vendetta.
No matter. An enemy of the crown was expunged. And now, I better know the kind of man you are. I look forward to your future service, Donovar.
I shan't disappoint you.
Listen, Lorraine.
Yes, Andreas?
The next battle will seal your fate, one way or another. We destroy the Duke, or the Duke destroys us. You must choose where your loyalties lie.
I am a Blue Fox.
Good. Thank you, Lorraine.
We must make for Duke Hende's manor at once. Let us take him by surprise and finish this quickly.
Yes, we will not report to the Lord's Council until after it's done. The Duke is not to be warned.
Duke Hende's manor has many a back door, the least guarded of which faces the woods to the west. If you sneak in through there, cross the back courtyard, and go to the top floor... No. Wait. Your best bet to get to the Duke would be to head directly for his master bedroom.
Lorraine, do you truly support our plan?
I do. My mind is made up.
Once the Duke is dead, what becomes of us?
Iska, no longer need we serve as Duke Hende's pet army.
We are Knights of the Lord's Council, an independent force. Do not forget that.
The royal government is too fractured to deliver justice. And that is exactly where our services come into play. As long as Lorraine serves as our intermediary, there should be no issues between us and the Lord's Council.
Very well. And you are certain that what we are doing is best for the people of the kingdom?
From how I see it, I believe we are.
Then, in that case, I'm with you all the way. Walter Quinn, what about you?
Oh, I can't wait to get started. I haven't been this excited since we took back Tagaria. Lorraine, coming to watch?
Enough, Quinn. We need to go.
Intruders! Bandits are raiding the manor! Huh? What the... You're the Blue Foxes! What are you doing here?
We're up against a different class of enemy here. Makes sense. You're the Duke's Knights, after all.
I know, isn't it wonderful? It's such a relief to know there's someone out there worth fighting.
Enough, you two. We're pressed for time.
Indeed we are. And our first objective is to capture the rear gate. Let's go!
That was the last barrier. We shall be at the house before long.
Good. Then he shall soon have to answer to us.
He's led us a merry dance, hasn't he? It's time for a little payback, I'd say.
That horseman looks to be their commander. Once he falls, the others will follow. Once we find our way into the manor, we advance. Then I shall finish the job myself.
I have no objections to that. You're best suited to it. We shall deal with the others.
Having slain his way through the guards, Andreas was finally face to face with Duke William Hende. Putting aside the debt he owed, Andreas informed the Duke that he was a rebel against the state and was to be purged. Yet, rather than fall into Andreas's hands, the Duke took poison, electing death on his own terms. Andreas silently observes the Duke's final moments.